I think he can come in and contribute right away and make a huge impact. This is a good bet for the Cleveland Browns, not a great bet because of what he talked about, his injuries. You know, we're years in, and we're still talking about the microfracture that you sustained coming into the NFL. That's a big deal. He's right, but that thing can hold you back and can derail your career. But this is a good bet for the Cleveland Browns because this is a guy who now is working out, training, rehabbing, doing all the things he needs to really come in and impact the game in a major way. The Cleveland Browns, they're sitting at 17th in the National Football League in defense, 15th in sack. And this is a dude in the last 25 games had 4.5 sacks. I know that's low, but when you think about how he went to one team to the next and he really didn't have an offseason, really wasn't training, I'm really excited to see what this year is going to be for him because the Cleveland Browns are right there on the edge. Nick, you love Baker Mayfield. Obviously, the offense took a huge step next year, and if this defense can come around and they can make a huge stride when it comes to sacking the quarterback and putting pressure on the quarterback, man, this team can be dangerous.
Yeah, the questions for Cleveland, I believe, are more on the defensive side than the offensive side. Offensive side, they have a good offensive line. They have a great running game. They have a very good receiving core. And even if you're not high on Baker, nobody at this point thinks Baker's a bad quarterback. And some people, such as myself, think he's a very good quarterback. So offense, I think they're taken care of. The question is the defense, most notably the defense against the pass. You have Myles Garrett, who's going to give you basically, almost a sack a game. Can you pair another pass rusher alongside him? And can the secondary live up to its draft status? Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, Greedy Williams were all first or second round picks, dealt with injuries. They spent a bunch of money on Josh Johnson to bring him over. So they hope that young secondary reaches its potential and that it's helped by bookended pass rushers in the great Myles Garrett and the potentially great Clowney. So I really like the signing, but full disclosure on this, Wilds, I cannot quit Jadeveon Clowney. Every year, I'm like, he's going to have a dozen sacks. Do you remember the play? This isn't a fair comparison for Clowney, but do you remember Tyrus Thomas? Guy who went to LSU, he's a top 5 NBA draft pick. For the first 5 years of his career, I was like, man, this is the year Ty Thomas breaks out. I really believe in him. I think and it just never happened. I was like, every year I was waiting for the Ty Thomas breakout year. Clowney's been better than that. He's right. He made 3 Pro Bowls, was an All-Pro in 2016, but he's never put it all together. And if he can and if he does, he is an instant impact player. There's no question about that.
Yeah. Okay. You and I are in the same boat because I saw analysis on this signing, and everybody wants to be so serious. Like, you know what? I don't like big names. What I like is production. I like to see sacks. I like to see defensive run stoppers. Like, not me. You know what I like? College highlights. It's the same reason I like Odell Beckham. Not in college, but boom, the one-handed catch. So now you got the strip sack and grab the ball, and you got the one-handed catch guy, both on the Browns. Now, do either of their knees work? Not 100% sure, to be totally honest. Clowney's had, Brandon, 5 knee surgeries. 5. He's 28.
Yes.
Like, huh? It's like Brad Pitt's 54. You're like, huh? Right. But the opposite way. He seems to be an old 28. But you've had more experience with sort of these injuries and guys in the locker room than I have. Do you feel like, there's 2 things I'm going to ask you. One, do you feel like there's a point where you have so many injuries that not only physically can you not get the job done, but mentally you can't get the job done, that you get up gingerly, that you attack the game differently? And 2, does it worry you that it's now 4 teams in 4 years, that there's just sort of like bouncing around the league, sort of gives you the lack of, I don't know, a home?
Yeah. Well, let me answer the last question. I feel like that's why his career has been derailed, because he's been so focused on the business and not the play. He switched agents a couple years ago to Kennard McGuire. There's a little bit more stability there. But remember how he left Houston. He was trying to get a mega deal and never got that. And he's been searching for that for a very long time. Now, when you look at the injuries, the hardest part is the recovery. So you're dead on, spot on when you're talking about the mental part. It's can you get up every single day not feeling like the Clowney that we saw back in South Carolina, that big play that we all continue to watch, that highlight, taking somebody's helmet off. Like, can you get back to that when you're feeling like you're just feeling terrible? That's what Clowney has been dealing with. That's the hardest part in sports, is dealing with those injuries in the offseason.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.